tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
All right. You know.
Another huge shout out to It's a Long Story. They're on Twitter at @ABCForever_fans for giving that song. Like we say every week, we want your forever songs. Welcome to another AFTERBUZZ TV show, or after show for forever.
I feel like this song is putting me in the mood for like Tuesday night, 11 p.m.
Yes. It was a good call.
Yeah, you know, we could last forever.
We could.
We could.
All right, guys, I'm your host, Kate Aquillano, joined by my lovely co-host,
Pegah Rad. Hi, everyone.
And I'm Marielou Mandl.
And we are joined by a very special guest, forever writer, Phil Klemmer.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoa.
Yay!
Writer of tonight's
Keep it down,
episode.
people.
Tonight's episode. I know, we need like a applause
I know
track.
some fake canned applause.
Thanks for joining us.
Good to be here. Thanks.
You were just like, it's past my bedtime.
I know. I might just curl up in the couch in a second.
We were so excited to have somebody who actually lives in LA because a lot of our guests call in from New York, but he's still tired anyway.
He's still tired.
It's so bright in here. It's hard to be tired. though.
Yeah.
I feel like
I know,
I'm getting a
it's like
sunburn.
daylight. But this was season 1, episode 15, The King of Columbus Circle, which you were the writer of.
True.
Quick question.
Like, is that for real?
Is that a question? How do you? Who comes up with the titles? You got the writer. Is it more of like
Yeah.
a brainstorm?
Some people are really like super precious and superstitious about what it's called.
Yeah.
Sorry, are we allowed to curse? Is that a good thing or a bad thing or an indifferent thing?
I mean, away from it.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
the internet, but
Sure. Okay. Matt Miller doesn't give what do you call a little thing? He doesn't give one of those about it, and
He doesn't give a poop.
he doesn't give a poop. Yeah. Some people are really like precious. It's like not like naming the great American novel, but I think for some people it's just what shows up on your little like DVR.
Right. It's not like with Chuck where it was always like Chuck versus
Right. And
something.
we don't have a formula really. There's only he did rewrite one of my titles.
What was it called?
Whoa, Matt Miller.
He
Scandalous.
rewrote, like, there was an episode about the dominatrix one.
Yes.
Not one that I wrote, but I wanted to call it Venus and Furs, after the influential book about sex and psychology and the Velvet Underground song, because I know that we have very intelligent sort of audience, you know.
Yeah.
And no, he didn't like it. Didn't like it.
It's okay.
Rewrote me without
We
even
like it.
asking.
That's all that matters. We
Yeah.
liked it.
Yeah.
We approve.
So don't call it by that other title, whatever it was.
Oh, okay. I don't even remember.
Quick reminder, guys. Follow us. Subscribe to youtube.com/AfterBuzz TV. Check us out on iTunes and SoundCloud. And join the conversation using the hashtag ABTVForever because we want to hear from you.
Yeah, we love your comments. We love to hear what you guys have to say about the episodes and
Before
how
we
you doing?
get into this episode, speaking of titles, last week, was Hitler on a half
That was
shell?
my title as well.
yeah.
Okay, explain
We
that.
need to know.
Why?
Okay.
What's a half shell?
Is it because of Venus? It was the
Yes,
statue.
I had a Latin teacher in high school who talked about the Botticelli of Venus emerging from the waves, as that was Venus on the half shell, and then we had an idea that one of the paintings would be like a sort of a version of Hitler riding sort of naked on a half shell. And when I said that was what Matt, you couldn't make him change that for anything.
Oh my God, we were like, what does this mean?
It means not. It's just funny. It's just.
It
It's like there were no Ninja Turtles in this.
I don't understand.
I don't understand.
It doesn't. Yeah.
All right, well, enough
Hitler on
title
half
talk, but let us know how you got involved with the show, a little bit about your background.
Pure nepotism.
Yeah?
BFFs with Matt
nepotism.
Miller.
Yeah. So yeah, I had enough nude photographs of him in compromising positions.
Yes, blackmail.
The blackmail. It's blackmail. And he has the same on me, so it just keeps,
And that's why he can change the titles of your episodes, but
Right.
you continue writing.
Exactly.
You are employed. I got it.
Everybody's happy. I think writers all have these sort of like secret agreements with buddies that like, dude, if you ever get a show, you got to come work for me, or
Right.
we got to work to, and there's just a handful of those guys and women out there, and Matt's one of those guys, and it just so happened that there are a bunch of other guys and now new people that we've met. So it's cool. Chris Fedak, we worked with him before, and Zev Barrow worked with him before, and then old friend of mine, John Embaum, from the very first show I worked on, Veronica Mars. And it's so it's interesting where your paths keep crossing with, like, it's not that big an industry. So it's cool because the shows don't always last forever, but like there is this feeling of continuity.
But does that help the creative process, because you kind of know like how each other works?
Yeah.
And like it's not like meeting
It's
someone
good and
new.
bad. It's good and
'cause
bad because like they also it's like having like somebody who will just like pick on you for like there's stories about me that I've heard told so many times that are so mortifying, and I could go to a new show and those stories are dead. They have no idea. But now all of the new writers have heard all of the old stories,
And it's just gonna
like
continue.
it just keeps going on. You never have a chance to like reinvent yourself, and there's also like a lack of civility. Like if you go into a new room, like on the first day of work, everybody's like so polite. Everybody's pitch is like, that's so interesting, and like let's run with that. And now we're doing episode 22, and it's like people are just openly like just insulting each other.
Like, that's
and
horrible.
Yeah, it's
Like, how are you still working here?
yeah.
Oh my god! So you guys are already on
Yeah.
the last
Yeah.
season, the finale.
We're doing the finale. Yeah.
You know everything.
What is
Yeah.
gonna happen?
Well, that's the thing. I also, my brain is also like, it's like RAM memory. So like I also don't remember anything about the episode that you guys just watched, because that's just like, you have to make room for new stuff. So it's just like,
That's a good way to pretend like you don't know what's going
I'm
on.
seriously,
That's why
what was
he
it
can't
about?
give us any spoilers.
So what do you remember about the last episode you encountered, which would be 22?
I don't remember. Well, God, if I knew what 22 was, I would probably be happy, because no,
You're like trying to figure it out.
no, things are going great in the room. It's just, it's a lot of pressure to sort of bring things to, a satisfying conclusion, and it's not a normal episode. And then you definitely raise the bar for yourself, because you're like, you want to, bring together this season-long kind of mythology stuff and the Adam story. It's, and it's your one chance to make it like awesome and to demand a second season.
Exactly.
Well, I'm just gonna go and ask: is Abigail back? She's alive. She's immortal. She has to be, right?
I
Great.
want
Thank you for
Abigail
answering
back.
that.
Just nod.
Yes,
uh-huh.
yes, I promise you, Abigail will be back.
But like in present day.
Ooh.
I mean,
Come on.
I'm not saying no.
Okay. I'm happy with that.
I'm not saying no.
I accept that.
I accept
Yeah.
it. Will she be an old woman or the same age? Who knows?
Oh.
He's smirking.
Little Benjamin Button action.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know.
So when you guys are writing an episode, you have pitches, and then you pitch your ideas, and then is there a voting process?
No.
Like, how do you
No, it's a
pick the-
tyranny. It's a
Okay. Okay.
There's no democracy in a writer's room.
Okay.
No, it's sort of like, there is a sort of like a hive, whatever, like mind melding sort of situation, like Ouija board, where everybody's sort of like, pushing ideas around,
Yeah.
and then magically they start congealing into something that hopefully makes sense.
Nice.
Yeah, this show's really, I want to say, easy to break. I think the characters are so, the voices are strong, and the dynamics are compelling, so that, like, we spent a lot of time just figuring out, like, murder, because like none of us are actually like, well, one of us now.
Nobody's actually a murderer yet.
Well, nobody's in murder.
No one's been
Somebody has to be sick and twisted, though.
Well,
For
you know,
sure.
we have brought on like writers that are actual like procedural experts, and that's actually, if you want to break down the gender dynamic, like the women on the show have actually like procedural experience and understand like how, say, law enforcement works, or and then all the men by and large are just a bunch of goofballs who crack jokes. So it combines to make something, but like if it were just the guys writing the show, it would make a lick of sense. It would just be.
We always say that the like Lucas's one-liners
Yes.
are our favorite parts.
Yes.
Like
It
we
would be
want more
gosh.
Lucas because he's hilarious.
the episode would just be Lucas.
It'd be amazing.
And yeah.
Whatever he
Like,
said
what's a highlight?
today.
Look, guess who's rolling in with a warrant?
With the
Yeah.
search warrant. Booyah! I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And then he takes the stomach contents bag and just smells it.
Yeah.
I wanted.
Yeah.
Did you like the siphon in the stomach too?
They couldn't like.
God.
I wanted to not.
That was like the one beat where I was just like, I'm walking if this doesn't make it into the episode. I really wanted to see him like start a siphon, and then
Did it? Oh.
It was there. Mission accomplished.
Yep.
I love it. Well, we've said this before, but the show films in New York. Do you ever make it out to the set?
Yeah.
How was it?
That one was just awful. It was. I had to buy like $400 worth of insulation
Freezing.
for my skinny ass frame, because like, you wear your winter jacket from LA and you're like, I'm cool, and it just
not gonna
tore through me.
Yeah.
Just tore through me. I was just, it was like -10 with the wind chill. It was sad times. Yeah, but
But fun.
But fun. Oh, I should have mentioned, like, one of our Chuck editors directed this tonight. So
really?
another old friend of mine, Matt Barber. So this was his premiere on this show. So he deserves a big hearty congratulations.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Yeah, I just saw him. He's drunk.
Oh, on the way over here.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I
Maybe
saw
we'll
him.
go get drunk with him after the
He'll
show.
still be there.
Okay.
Nice.
Works for us. Well, I find that Forever is just like a very unique show, and you've worked on so many other shows. What is different about Forever that you really think it stands out?
The thing is, it's it's probably the most like it's funny because it sort of fits. It's like classic. It's classic television. Like in a weird way, I know like we're doing great and we have lots of fans, but I can't believe it's not like the biggest, hugest thing, because to me it's like it's what everybody tries to do on television, which is do something that's been done before but like in a new way.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, it's weird because I think we force ourselves to be kind of conventional, but I think we're just a bunch of weirdos. So in trying to like do a normal procedural, it comes out a bit like cracked.
But it's working.
It's so working.
Cool.
You were just saying that the episodes have gotten more complex.
They have.
Which
Have they?
I
Yes.
love.
Starting when? Like when did you notice?
I would
It's
say like
4 weeks, probably.
4 weeks.
Four
Right.
episodes. Yeah.
Right.
I'm a master. I watch a lot of procedurals.
Yes.
About picking the killer.
She used to be able to pick them within probably 15, 20
Did you
minutes
pick this
max.
one?
That's why I have a bone to pick with you, because how am I supposed to pick a
If
killer
he's not seen?
not seen but
Seconds.
for 2 seconds?
Seconds.
I don't know. You said you're a master.
I was like, the wife didn't do it. The daughter's too easy. The bartender had like a tone that you wanted to think like he's involved. That's not him. I
Yeah.
was like, who is this killer?
Yeah, she's gotten later and later in her predictions throughout the episodes.
So
it's like,
that means it's getting very complex.
Yeah.
And
Your
bravo.
goal is to stump Aquillano over here.
Well, it's hard because, like, those the sort of villainous, fake, whatever, Urkeshi accents, they all sound kind of diabolical. So everybody kind of sounds a little like they might be a little shady.
a little suspect. Yeah.
I was not happy. I was like, who is it? Who's the killer?
I know, and then I see we're like further and further into the episode. We're like half an hour in, 40 minutes in.
I was like, I should
and
know
she's
by
like
now.
steaming back there.
Sometimes I forget. Like sometimes I'm just like surprised at
You're
the
like,
end.
wait,
I'm
what
like,
happened?
what? The fingerprinter did it? That's crazy.
Nuts.
I thought for sure.
He didn't
it was-
even have a line.
Yeah.
I was
my God.
so late to catch on to the whole
Yeah, let's get
Sunday.
into this episode since you are the writer and we just all watched it
Yeah, we have a
together. It's very quick cut in the beginning.
Yeah.
They're at a consulate for Urkesh.
Yeah,
Who came up with that?
It was originally going to be an actual country. What was the original country?
Like Uzbekistan or something?
Something like Azerbaijan or no, something. But then we wanted to give them like a fake history, and that didn't seem right because you had like
country.
we didn't want to make any country out to be like a murderous, evil place, even though there's plenty of real countries. So we just made one up.
Nice, I like that.
But there's this old man that walks up, and he wants a visa to go back because he wants to go there to die. Cuts to him dying on a park bench.
And I love his face when he's up there. He's like, they're like, why do you want to go? He's like, I want to go to die.
And then
so excited.
the workers like looks at the passport and just runs to her superior, and you're like, who is this person? Because she's like, guess who just applied for a visa? And you're like, I don't know what's happening.
It's the Elvis of her
Like,
cash.
that guy seemed shady, but not the one that was... I mean, we saw him for a split second. There's no... Okay. No time
I'm
to
still
even...
bitter. I'm still bitter. I couldn't pick the
We'll let that
killer.
slide.
You might not make it out here in one piece.
I'm bitter. But then it goes to... I'm not kidding. I pride myself on being able to pick the killer. But I digress. Then we go to Henry and Abe, which... We, the three of us, absolutely adore their relationship.
And Pegah's like, Abe got a haircut.
I totally noticed the haircut.
Really?
Yeah. It's
That's the
so
first thing she
clean on the
noticed.
sides. Yeah.
I'll pass that along.
But we see him really trying to investigate his family tree.
Yeah.
Is that going to keep going on throughout some episodes, or was that just...
Okay. Wait, now I'm getting my episodes confused.
He already found his
cousin.
the box of his parents' stuff. So and then
that was the previous one. That was Hitler on the half shell.
Yeah.
He
and
talked
then,
to his Scottish cousin in this
Lachlan.
episode. Yes.
Who's not Scottish. Spoiler alert. I don't know, who's just like a dude.
He played a
the
really
most
good
spectacular beard. I was
Totally.
It's like one of your buddies from the bar. Like, it's all Bill who sits at the corner.
And at the end of this episode, we find out that Henry and him are
that was
cousins.
A cute moment.
Really, right?
That was really cute.
I really dig that.
Yeah. So beyond that, are we going to see more of Abe trying to find out who his family is?
I think we're probably going to have hands full with just the whole Abigail mystery is really gonna occupy most of their attention.
Likey.
That's the one storyline that I want more. Of course, Adam, but I want more from Abigail.
Yeah.
Speaking of Abigail, they have a flashback because Henry notices a scar on the victim's body. Flashback to Henry doing surgery. I'm like, oh, Henry did surgery on this guy. And 10 minutes later, Peg is like, oh my god, that's the same guy. I'm like,
and we're like, yes, Peg.
It was.
No, we were worried about that because unless you can match up the scars, but we did want to show the little kid getting cut because that's kind of gruesome.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But I do like because sometimes the flashbacks are more just paralleling on like themes, not necessarily directly related to the storyline of the present. So I like that it was kind of really related. That was cool.
Yeah, like in the beginning, that was a mandate that we were sort of given. I can't remember from whether it was network or studio that it was actually supposed to be, mechanical knowledge. Like the first one I did was about like the tenements. And it was, he had been in the tenement before, and that allowed him to know how to like escape through the basement or something like that. So it was all about like him accumulating like knowledge as opposed to we've now moved into more of like they're more like emotional resonance, like when he's just in a mood to remember something where it's it's more thematic, like you said.
Well, we go to the morgue, and the wife comes in, and you're like, I know it's not the wife. She's too sweet. But then we go back to
totally not phased that her husband's like flayed on the table.
That he's just like gutted like a fish.
She's like, it's fine.
I've seen horrible stuff in our cash.
Probably, yeah.
Trust, this is nothing.
We always say the makeup department on this show
killer.
Yeah,
like,
Todd is he's a badass.
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's also funny when you think about like makeup. Like you're in charge of making people look really beautiful, and then you also have to like make them look totally gruesome.
Dead. Yeah.
So
This
that's
is the same person who does both.
Yeah, it's a big skill set.
Wow.
Yeah.
And all of like the period pieces and everything.
Yeah.
Wow. Talented man.
Nice.
Well, we think the NYPD thinks this is just an accident, or just he died of kind of, I think he had
general
cancer,
oldness,
cancer.
Yeah.
But because a rookie flagged it as a homicide, that's why they originally came. But then Henry gets in the middle of it. The wife says he did not get treatment. So then he's
Light bulb goes
Light
off.
bulb.
Like how did all those poisons get into his body?
he's poisoned.
Yeah.
What was it?
Polonium-210.
Polonium.
If we were like, what was it? Plutonium?
Yeah.
We wrote down
He's
wrong.
like,
The flux capacitor.
Yes, that's time travel. I told you. That's what you
go.
need to travel through time. And they're like, oh, okay.
Okay.
it's like,
Sure.
who is this girl?
Oh my god. And then that's when they smell his stomach contents, and that's when yak stew.
Yak stew.
I never want to try yak stew.
From The Taste of Urkesh.
Does it make you hungry just thinking of that?
I wanted to like Yelp it and see if it was actually a place.
Extra
There we go.
polonium for me.
No, it's not gonna happen. But then I was like, who is this? The guy at the restaurant? It's like, he's a suspect.
He was a little,
A little too scary.
But
though.
it was like too easy.
Too easy.
It was way too easy.
He was too surly. A real killer would be like a little more polite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that through him, we find out that the king was dining with a young woman.
Mm-hmm.
Then they find the stamp on his hand for
The gilded
cage.
Which
I thought it was a strip joint.
Oh.
It's to be like an S&M club or something.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
like
Lucas
the
is like, I
gilded
can't get in there.
cage. Like
Well,
it's
the problem with trying to clear like the name of anything is
yeah.
everything is already named, so you wind up getting like choice 87 on your list of things. So yeah, gilded cage it was.
Yeah, I remember working on a film and we had to name an elementary school.
Yeah.
And we had a list of like 300.
Yeah.
And it was awful what was finally picked.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably really tough. Mm-hmm. Is that why you went with Taste of Urkesh?
Taste of Urkesh, just make up a country it's not taken. That's
Exactly.
the way to
It's
do it.
easy. That's easy.
Does
Take
Taste of
Urkesh in the
Urkesh,
title.
Does Taste of Urkesh have good Yelp reviews?
Somebody better go like scoop up that domain name because
It's going to be a thing now.
It's going to be the next like amazing restaurant in NYC.
It's like a spin-off. It'll be like Kitchen Confidential, but like Taste of Urkesh.
I could see it happening. Yeah. They talked to Lydia. I knew it was his daughter.
she was on Golden Boy.
Was she?
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to him because he did Golden Boy, and I love Theo James. I mean, who doesn't love Theo James?
There's nobody.
There's no one.
Nobody.
I mean, done. Conversation done. But he talks to Lydia. I knew it was his daughter.
How did you? I
just
did
had a
not pick
feeling-
up on that. Did you pick up on that, Marielou?
No, I didn't quite pick.
You thought she was a stripper.
I
That's
thought,
right.
yeah.
I was still
I was
on-
like,
All right,
that
she's gonna get called up onto the stage.
Yeah, I totally thought he was like a
Put
sleazy
your hands
king.
together.
Yeah.
You know,
But she basically doesn't. She thinks she's crazy because she's like, he told me he was a king and that da 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 da. And I'm like thinking to myself, yeah, if someone told me that, I would never believe it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
believe it. But then Henry
Diamond.
and Joe just let her suffer.
I know, like tell her already that it's true. And then she's like, yeah, when diamonds are that big, you know they're fake. I'm like, honey,
Girl,
It was
shoulda kept
real,
the diamonds.
should have ran to the pawn shop.
yeah.
Whatever.
Where-
I don't know. Get it appraised. Where do you call it? Jewelry store, I guess. I don't know.
I
Does it
don't
look
know.
like-
I don't have great sized diamonds.
Can we borrow one? If you have one, please let us borrow it so we can go get
And
it
then-
appraised at the pawn shop.
The poor queen just dropping them all over the floor. I mean, these people
know.
don't give about diamonds.
Yeah.
What's
No.
wrong with them?
I mean, they can give me some. I'd be okay. But speaking of that scene, what?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, that she's poisoned.
Yeah.
I mean, she was like
Yeah, there was one.
sweating.
Yeah.
I thought she was
You're like
shaking
bad
and sweating
makeup?
because she was nervous and like lying.
Good.
Yeah,
the
that was what
point.
you were going
Yeah.
for? Okay.
Yeah,
I was
totally.
like, she got
Yeah.
poisoned.
I knew she was
But I was flagged when Detective Hanson and Joe had coffee.
Oh, and he did the like, we're cool.
Yeah, and I was like,
Good.
something's happening here.
Yeah.
something sketchy with the tea.
Yep.
Yeah, we kind of cheated. Polonium poisoning doesn't actually happen like that, but it was just more dramatic that way.
Yeah.
Like
It
when
was
it
dramatic.
like when it really happens, I think like you drink your polonium and then it's like 3 weeks later you
I love that Henry like carries the like little radiation
yeah, the
in
little
his
Geiger counter.
side pocket, and he's like, I got it.
Yeah.
She's been poisoned. And then we have the scene. That
We
you
all
love.
looked away.
We're like,
Which Hanson pulls through, like comes,
Yeah.
like grabs the hose
that
out
was
of
a
the
good
sink.
idea. I was
He's
like,
like,
where is he
I'm
gonna
on
get
it.
tubing?
I've done this before. This old saw. I know how to pump a stomach.
Oh my god.
I would not know where to go find a hose if they told me.
Well, he
I
was in a fraternity. His backstory is
there you go.
he's had to pump a lot of stomachs.
Oh.
We heard, speaking of him,
Uh-huh.
that he kind of just named himself. He was like, yeah, I think my name's Mike. Because we talked to him in one of the early episodes, and we're like, what's your first name? He's like, I think it's Mike.
No,
I think, was that already planned? Was that written, or did he come and like? He's like, I think I'm a Mike.
we argue about it. I think people have different opinions what his real name is. I think it might still be up in the air.
Oh.
No, they've used Mike.
We've used
They
Mike
used it.
on air.
You've
Yes.
used Mike on air, but like later.
Okay. I think we could do better. I think
What would you
season
name
season
him?
2 we might have to change that. I don't know.
After his singing, maybe he'll get like a new rock star
a
nickname.
nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when it does happen, that we have some like soft confirmation.
Soft confirmation that Donnie's gonna sing. Matt Miller tweeted me saying it will happen.
Yes. You
We
gotta
are
write us
so
in
stoked.
to like be in the karaoke
I know
bar.
what he's gonna sing actually. If it clears, it's a lot of money. It's an expensive title.
Can you give us like a genre, a time period?
It's gotta be rock.
Okay, I hope
Oh my
I'm not
god, do you
screwing
see
this
us
up.
like?
Oh my god.
Get the press release
It was
out.
the theme song from the second of a series of movies that was recorded by a very famous rock band in the late 80s, early 90s.
All right, your guesses. Send us your guesses.
Hashtag ABTV forever. Let us know what you think.
But the song's probably
But
not
it
going to
has-
clear.
has
And
to clear.
he's gonna wind up
It's a
singing
legal
like
thing.
I've been working on the railroad or
Hey,
something in public
Handy
domain.
sings that works for us.
Well, we want to be like in the karaoke bar or wherever it is that this scene happens in.
I know, we'll fly to New York.
We will fly in.
Yeah, it'll be great.
It's gonna be awesome. Hashtag get Donnie to sing. Just want to plug that. They find ink on the wife's door, and it wasn't just thumb ink from the consulate. It was on all fingers. So then it was like light bulb. It was one of the two. But your mind automatically goes to the girl because she had more screen time.
Yeah.
Was not her.
Shady writers.
Shady, bald,
Shady
Did you
writer.
just throw your notes in disgust?
She was, yeah,
Bro.
done.
But you also have the guy. I didn't catch his name, but the main guy that worked at the consulate.
Oh yeah, the handsome bearded fellow.
Oh,
Hanson.
wow.
Not
Deputy Ambassador Sergey?
sure.
Yeah,
The guy
that
in the
sounds about
smart
right.
suit?
Yeah. The
Wow,
smarts.
really? Love connection.
Holler.
You know,
Hey, guys.
he was just well put together. I don't know.
Who knew?
I mean,
by the way,
sure.
when he was described in the script, he was morbidly obese and sweaty.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and then they bring. I mean, he's great. That guy was totally lovely, and I'd actually like. He was on Golden Boy as well. But then he shows up, and you're just like, he's not.
That doesn't-
He's not morbidly obese and sweaty. Like, because when I think of like a government bureaucrat, I want a guy with some girth and
Yeah.
corpulence, and you know.
No, this was sleek.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
smooth.
Out of a GQ magazine.
Yeah,
And I mean, he's smooth how he. I know, like she's blushing.
yeah.
He's
hot
a little
in here.
sneaky how he's giving the NYPD some clues.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
He's been around the block. This guy's,
that
you know.
you left your newspaper
Yeah.
there.
Like,
I was surprised you did that though.
He wanted to help, but not. He couldn't.
He's like, yeah, my number's on the back of that too. Give me a call
Give me a
sometime.
call.
Isn't he
Yeah,
just
I'm around.
throwing under somebody that works for him?
Yeah.
Well, he also
doesn't
is
have to
throwing
help
under
them,
a
though.
murderer.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
yeah,
true.
but you
Doing
know,
the right thing.
in Urkesh, I mean, I don't know if murder's really illegal.
Yeah.
It's more of like a sort of, you know,
It's frowned upon.
misdemeanor.
It's frowned upon.
Yeah.
You pay a fine,
This is your
Alright.
first murder.
Yeah.
You get a
Okay.
ticket.
a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
All right.
Warning.
Well, then, since the king died of poison, the wife was poisoned. Obviously, they're trying to wipe out this bloodline. Next in line would be Lydia.
Yeah.
Next in line, the little
And
Bambino.
then we find out
I
there's
was so mad.
Infanticide,
I
right?
was-
That's pretty hot.
I was like, if they kill
You
this
just-
baby, I am going to
Yes.
be so upset.
I had to cover
Oh my
eyes.
gosh.
It was a little intense scene in that apartment.
Yeah, and I mean, just talking about the baby, the actor, how incredible was that kid with the ring and everything? I mean, there were some great performances. That kid was spectacular.
Yes.
Like, great future. Like, that kid did everything on cue, just one take, boom, done.
way.
Wow.
Yeah, real pro. Real pro.
Nice.
They
Start him early.
Yeah.
I don't know, when the bad guys going after the baby, these two are like, they better not shoot that baby. I was like, they're not going to kill the baby.
We put the baby in the bathtub. Like,
I saw it
you
in the
know.
bathroom. I was like, all right.
That was
Yeah.
a good call.
Yeah, that's what my parents did when there was, shooting in my neighborhood
Yeah,
Oh,
in
really?
the bathtub.
in
From experience.
Winchester, Virginia. No, not shooting.
It's like, no, probably not. Suburbia. Suburbs. But then Lydia gets shot, which was surprising because usually it's kind of like a nice, clean, happy ending.
But he had to save her so they could repeat history repeating itself, just like
you
with,
do the line.
with her
Oh,
dad.
that's right. Something about
Courage?
courage. Yeah,
Oh, I wrote it.
yeah.
You're the daughter
You're the
of a
daughter
king.
of a king.
Yeah, and then he gave her a really nasty scar when they hit a bump.
Oh, so everybody's got it.
Everybody gets his sort of Harry Potter scar.
Nice.
That is? I didn't catch that. It's kind of going full circle. We get a flashback to Henry deciding that he did want to try having another child with Abigail.
And then he tries.
He tried.
Right. And so
Then he
I'm
tries.
thinking, I'm like, do we even know if his immortal sperm is going to work?
I don't know.
that was
That's a
the
good
question.
question. That's a good
Great
question.
question.
Yeah.
Because that's old.
It's old.
Right?
You're right. That's a great.
It's like,
Yeah.
I will get there.
Obviously, it doesn't work because they don't have another child.
Oh,
Well, we don't know. We don't know what happens to Abigail. Maybe she dies giving
Phil?
birth.
No.
Phil, what is gonna happen?
No, there's no more baby. I mean, Abe was all the baby they needed, but it was
That's
it was
true.
fun for them
Okay.
to try on the,
Yeah.
Yeah, try a lot.
Come on.
Come on. They go back to the hospital and
There was I know you said I was not supposed to curse. There was
Just do it. It's fine.
do it.
It's fine.
there was just sometimes you write lines in the script just to kind of make sure people are like reading the stage direction or whatever. I believe the line of scene direction when they're sort of getting hot and heavy was, "This train is headed to Pound Town."
was that something you wrote? Or
I believe yes. If I had to take, yes, I believe it was. And it's like sometimes you put those things in just to make sure, people are reading, but then you don't take it out, and then you get to
was there a
set that
take with
day, and
that?
it's like going to Pound Town. Really? That's
really you wanted to put
that's
that in? You had
romantic.
to put that in here.
Now,
This is
whose line was it? Ioan's or
this is this was just like, this is the immortal
For
love
the
of my life.
the director's like, all right, ready on set. We're going to Pound Town. Ready, action.
Is this Pound Town a place? Do we need to see signage in the background? You're like, no, it's a
It's 50
state of
kilometers
mind.
away from Urkesh.
Brilliant.
But they go back to the
God.
hospital. I think this is a foreshadowing scene because Joe's holding the baby and Henry comes and he kind of has like a moment looking at her because she's usually this tough, NYPD detective, and she's like, all cute holding the baby. And I feel like that's foreshadowing that they're having a child together.
I mean, they looked like a cute little family right there.
But when you didn't see it, they got a call and she just dropped the baby. She's like,
murder?
we
I'll
gotta
be
go.
there.
Sorry, kid.
Oops.
Batmobile.
Somebody pick up that kid.
Oh my God.
I'm still sticking with I don't want them to have a romantic
Really?
relationship. I don't want it.
She does.
I mean, I do and I don't. Well, we
doesn't.
know that Cuba's coming in and swooping in on Joe.
And then
so.
Henry's got the sex doctor.
Yep.
That,
Okay. So,
Okay, I didn't say it had to
mean,
happen like next episode.
My dreams are shattered.
In the future.
That's what fan fiction's for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you can do that on your own time. You can write those scenes,
We're gonna send them to you for approval.
Yeah, we'll send them in.
So I write this. What do you think about this? Yeah.
All right. Then they go back to the apartment and find out that Henry and Abe are related. Very cute moment, which we
very
talked
cute.
about. And I just love the little scenes at the end. There was like a little scene with Lucas and the detective. It's like they're just buddies.
Yeah.
And then, of course, a really cute scene is when the wife goes to the hospital with Lydia and her baby. And
The most talented baby in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Love that kid.
He's going to be like winning an
I should
Oscar
get a
in 10
pilot.
years.
I should get a pilot with that kid.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally. I'll play the mom. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
It's fine.
I'm available.
That's really great.
Check him out.
I love it.
Got aunties here.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it ends with Henry and Abe he tucks him in.
And he says you got to treat your son like a king,
No
or
matter
your
how old they may be.
Yes.
Yeah.
That tugged at my little heart.
I know.
Always. And next, speaking of Cuba and Hillary, next episode, which is I think in 2 weeks.
Should we do predictions?
Oh, let's do some news and gossip first.
Oh, okay.
AFTERBUZZ
Whoa.
TV News.
Yes.
I thought that was
Blow
my
your mind.
phone. Yeah, wow, that's so crazy. Whew, it's so hot in here, guys.
It really is.
Can I just lose a layer? Is this
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead. Well, next episode, we see that Hillary Burton is back. She plays the dominatrix. What can you tell us as you
Disrobe?
disrobe?
Is this
for
a
us?
family show? What do we got?
Gilded cage.
I know a lot about the next episode.
Give us some deets.
What is it called? It has a name. I don't know. I forget. It's so next episode was written by a dear friend of mine, Anderson McKenzie. It's so you guys saw there was like a next on. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
there's a
was
preview. Yeah, on the 24th.
What did you guys see on that?
We saw Hillary Burton's character. She comes back and she's like hurt on the floor.
Her and Henry kind of did they kiss in the?
I think so.
They were getting a little
They were
close.
getting close
And
together.
then something about repeating people's something.
Yeah,
or
it's
another.
about it's an episode about sort of sexual fantasy and obsession. Fun for the whole family.
Speaking of fan fictions.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's a great episode, and you know, when we brought her on, episode 109, the S&M one, we didn't know that she was going to be just a one-off character, but they just had this great chemistry
Awesome
together.
chemistry. Yeah.
And he's such an odd man that you can't just have a sort of right over the plate kind of woman for him.
Yeah. Well, because she reminds me of the woman to Sherlock.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was amazing. I love that episode. Yeah. So we just wanted somebody who could go like intellectually sort of like head to head with Henry, and kind of make him a little nervous and hot under the collar, which I think is cute because he's always so like poised and in control and smooth. Yeah, she really gets him acting like a kid.
Yeah, she called into the show and she was on, and she was great.
Such a gem. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, she was awesome.
great.
So we're glad that she's back.
Yeah,
And then another news is that Cuba Gooding Jr.
I know.
has a multi-episode arc as Joe's love interest.
Yeah.
What, like, why? I mean, I know you're not casting the show, but any input on why him? Why?
Well, I mean, we're crazy lucky. Like,
It's awesome.
Yeah, I like heard his name like bandied about, and you're just like, that's never gonna happen. And then like I actually like read about it online, like because that's how you find out about things. You don't actually talk to people in your workplace. Yeah, it's amazing. It's really cool.
Is he filming that soon? Because I know he's going to be busy filming the American Crime Story soon.
Yeah, he's gonna be a busy man.
Yeah.
Their first episode, I think it starts shooting next week.
Nice.
Punk is dead.
Nice.
So that's the title.
Oh,
Good
okay.
title.
Good title. I'm excited. It's gonna be I read that probably the EW story that you read.
Yeah.
That he's kind of like a suspect in a crime investigation, and that's how they meet, and then the lovey feelings start to happen.
In like the interrogation room, it's like
Yeah, well, I'm ready for Joe to get some action again because she had action like the first episode, and then like what happened?
Like we established that she's like a little bit of a loose cannon in that respect, and then she just sort of like in the pilot that luckiest guy on earth is just like
Okay.
whatever.
yeah.
She'll never be on the show again.
Right.
Good job. Thank you.
Her alcoholism is sort of miraculously sort of gotten in check.
Yeah, they need to get drunk.
It's
and
just
she needs
like-
to get laid.
I mean, it's just like she's Alana is such a together woman and such like a pleasant. It's just not fun to degrade her character with casual sex and substance abuse. Like none of us, I think, have the heart for it. You know, to turn this into like leaving Las Vegas because she's just a sweetheart. You know,
She's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into predictions.
Sure.
No, their sound effects.
Now,
And
your
lights.
AFTERBUZZ TV
Whoa.
predictions.
You obviously know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Marielou, start us off with some predictions.
I predict from our information we got before we started taping was that Adam's gonna beatbox.
Oh yeah, share that with us.
Oh man. I hope I'm not lying about this, because I
gonna go
swear
look it
I
up.
read about it on the internet, but I was trying to figure out who Bern Gorman, the actor who plays our anonymous caller, Adam is, because he's such a convincing baddie that I wanted to know who he was as a human being, because he can't just go around in his regular life terrorizing people. And so I found this YouTube clip of him beatboxing, and like not just like, I mean, this guy's like a world class beatboxer.
What?
I can't wait to like look at this video.
Yeah, and he looks like just a dude, because he's wearing like very sort of like hip hop, like normal clothes, and he's just like a normal guy, and it just kind of blows your mind, because you're just like, I just thought you were like lived in a Bond villain lair and like tried to invent like lasers to destroy the world. Like no, he's just a cool guy.
Bad guys have hobbies.
Yeah.
I need to look this up immediately.
Well, can you tease anything with Adam in the future? Because last episode he was like trying to be Henry's friend and apologizing.
And I didn't buy it for a second.
We're not buying it.
He's got
so
a
what's
weird
his
way of being-
motivation?
Oh, I said it's a weird bromance.
Yeah, we're actually actively trying to figure that out, because with bad guys, you can sort of you have to keep them humanized, even if they're immortal. You don't want them to go into Dr. Evil territory, where he wants to just like rule the world or be bad just for the sake of being bad. Like I think there's something very tragic about his predicament, the way that like Henry, through 200 years of living, has been a little bit, hurt, and maybe he's a little protective. I mean, if you live 2,000 years, this guy's really a little effed up. And like in a, you imagine how many people he's lost.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the YouTube people were saying that maybe he was there when Caesar was killed, and that's what.
Sure, the dagger.
The dagger.
44 BC.
I was like, people are
we have
smart.
a question from. Okay, so how does Adam come back?
Oh,
Oh,
Does
yeah.
he come back the way that
We had some pitches
Henry-
on that today.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
because before you paint yourself into a corner, because when he is in the concentration camp, he dies.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he must be
keeps
rebirthed
dying.
into the concentration
But what
camp.
if they had like a tank of water there, something for him? Or as one of our writers pitched today, what if he reemerges like in shrubbery or in soup?
But all he had to have been
In a-
within the
In a baked
camp.
potato.
We had another person who postulated that maybe he just appears under tables, making for some awkward moments where
'Cause
like
he's
in
naked under a
restaurants, and he has to say like, "Excuse me, ma'am."
But he's like,
So I mean, this is open. Your fans can answer this for us. Where would they like to see?
Yes.
but if he like rebirthed somewhere crazy, then he like ended up at the same concentration camp again. Over
Yeah,
and
like,
over?
why
Okay,
would
but
he
these
choose-
Nazis were very, very bad, diabolical people, and they knew, like, I mean, for instance, like if he reemerged in water, they could have like some special, like, I mean, here's another great pitch. This was, I'm stealing. These are not my ideas.
You can take credit. We'll never
Okay,
know.
this was my idea that what if Henry fell into a well, and then you know
just,
he
like, stuck in the
paddle, and then he would die and then be reborn in a well. You know, if he was reborn in water, or what if he dies like in a shark infested water, and he gets like eaten by a shark,
Because it's
reappears,
just
And
the
then
eaten by a shark.
nearest
Re-
one.
So we were wondering if we could do a whole episode just of him repeatedly getting devoured by a
Right.
shark. Would you
When
watch
he comes back, he's like, oh,
42
gosh,
minutes
darn
of
it.
that?
I mean, maybe.
He's
It'd be
naked.
kind of funny. Ooh.
I mean,
he shirtless?
Sure.
Is he shirtless? Yes.
All right, then fine.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Done.
That's the finale.
Don't gotta twist my arm.
42 minutes of Sharknado.
Sharknado means forever. You're
Okay,
welcome.
so it's open to our interpretation how Adam comes back.
Yeah, I mean, I think when Matt came up with the water, you know, there is something very primal about, you know, Venus on the half shell, you know, coming out of the waves, you know, that's where, you know, where people started, you know, back when we had like little fins and stuff. It's very gestational, coming out of water. So I wouldn't be surprised if Adam has a version of that.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Any other predictions from you?
No, beatboxing.
Beatboxing.
I don't have any. Okay. Hillary. Okay. Yeah. What's her name? What's her actual name on the show?
There's a couple, because she's Iona,
Oh, Iona.
Mistress Payne,
Uh-huh.
and then she's Molly Dawes, Dr. Dawes if you're nasty.
Okay.
Yes.
Of course. How did we not know that?
Iona's going to come back. We think that she's going to get into a lot of trouble or get hurt, but I think she'll be okay.
Dies. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god. Although that was easy.
Great.
Yeah, don't need
Totally dies in the first scene.
Yeah.
I really like that character.
Yeah.
And then we'll see. Hopefully, I'm going to predict. Okay, we're on episode, what, 15?
This was 15.
I'm going to say Abigail's going to come around 17, 18. You don't have to say anything, but I'm gonna predict that right now.
Okay. I want more Adam. I want more Abigail.
These aren't predictions. These are like demands.
Demands.
No, obviously,
like you're
that's
not
why
like,
we brought you here. You don't leave until you agree.
I'm just since episode 1. I'm like, how? Because we don't know what happened with Henry and Abigail. Did she die? Did she leave him maybe when she was like 50 because something happened?
You're gonna find this out like real soon. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. This happened, but that's not the end of the story. Like even she had a life after Henry, and that's going to be the sort of what we spent the last couple episodes trying to figure out. She
wanted
years.
She wanted to have someone to grow old with. Actually grow old with.
Oh.
But what about Abe?
Pegah's gonna melt into a puddle right now.
I'm excited about that.
Okay, cool.
Anything else?
No.
Anything else you can tease for us? You're like, I'm out of teases.
Just give us the script.
Yeah,
Just hand them over.
If I had them, my God, I should be writing one of them right now.
Except we're keeping you here.
It's okay. We'll write it for you. Okay,
so
first,
let's go.
All right,
so
everybody do 10
Abigail.
pages. We'll be done by morning.
Awesome. Teamwork. Just a quick reminder, guys. Again, check us out on YouTube /AfterBuzz TV, SoundCloud, iTunes. We want to hear from you. We look at your comments every week.
Yes.
Talk to us on Twitter with #ABTV forever. Where can the lovely viewers find you on social media?
Social media. So that's the @ thing.
That's like that thing.
And then there's my name,
Yes.
which is Phil Klemmer, which is like Phil with 1 L and Klemmer with 2 M's.
Okay.
And that's all the social. I don't do like any other. I mean, I just
I
hang out at coffee shops a lot if they want to do it that way.
Cool.
I'm
Just
usually
stop Phil.
Commissary
You
on
need
Burbank.
a forever.
I love that place.
It's the best.
Now you're gonna get some
Maybe we'll
stalkers.
go
the
there
best.
tomorrow morning.
But you guys need a Forever Writers Room Instagram.
Yes.
You should start it.
Yeah, but it's the smell that really tells the story of a writer's room.
Oh,
Picture
we
wouldn't,
can't really get
wouldn't
that
do
across.
I
it.
heard there's a
the
lot of
picture.
snacks involved.
Yeah,
I'm down.
There's a lot of eating. There's a lot
Hot
of
Cheetos.
consumption.
I would
Yeah.
not do good in a writing room. I'd be really fat.
I've got a treadmill desk. That's my secret.
There you go.
Yeah, I write and just walk.
I want that.
Yeah.
We need that here.
Yeah.
Walk and host. Walk and host. Where can they find you on social media?
Social media, Twitter and Instagram @Marielou Mandl, MARIELOUMANDL.
I'm also on Twitter and Instagram @Pegah Rad.
Please add Pegah. She needs
She
friends.
needs friends.
I went up
Every
like
episode.
10 followers since
Wait,
last week.
How,
Oh my
how many
god.
friends do you guys have? Because I'm really hating life.
On Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I
have,
don't have
like-
a lot at all.
I have like 530.
What? You're like a celeb.
I wish. Can we like double that? And then I'd be happy.
We've got Pegah and Kate.
She's like, I have to. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram @KateAquillano. I'm gonna thank you, Phil, so much for joining us.
Thanks
This
for
was
having me.
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll
Thanks.
come back for the next episode I write, which
Please.
is the penultimate of this season.
Nice.
Hopefully there'll be many more.
Yes.
Love it.
Alright.
Yes, please, season 2. We're crossing our fingers. Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks, same time, same place.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.